In the miners' strike of 1984, an unlikely friendship was forged between those on the picket lines in South Wales and gay rights campaigners from London.
Now, 4 decades on, the real-life stars of the film Pride have been reflecting on how solidarity brought these two very different groups together.
We're still in contact with each other. 40 years. Takes a bit of effort on both sides, but that's what I think of, you know, my friends. We have arrived. Yay! There we are. It's lovely to see you.
Oh, did you have a good journey?
It was boring living in a small village in South Wales. Lesbians and gays were coming from London, and that was totally different. The age I was and the pop scene at the time, and it was just really, really exciting. I was literally angry at my mum that she was such a hoarder that we didn't have any room for them to stay in our house.
This is nice because we see this, don't we, in Gay Pride as well?
Yeah, yeah.
Gosh, we marched some miles behind this, didn't we?
Can you smile?
So once the miners announced that they were on strike, it was, yep, here we go. Let's get behind them. I mean, it was 1984. LGBT people had no rights. We were going in knowing that we would cause some people to be troubled by our presence. But we were young, we were activists, we were used to challenging homophobia. That's what we did. If we get homophobia from the miners that we're supporting, we'll deal with it, just as we do every other day of our lives.
Nerves. One was just extraordinarily nervous about, you know, who are we going to meet?
When we walked into the Miners' Welfare Hall on that very first occasion, 27 of us, so we were damn conspicuous. And when we walked into that Miners' Welfare Hall, which was crowded with people, there's about 300 people in there, these queers walked in and the whole tenor of the conversation dropped.
And there was this moment of silence, and your heart sinks and you just think, what are we doing? What have we done?
We knew that was about our presence, but we didn't know which way it was going to go. But we're talking about microseconds here.
And then one person started clapping.
And within seconds, the whole hall stood up and gave us a standing ovation. And that has to be the most amazing moment in my life forever, that one.
And then the generosity of the community. I mean, everything that they were going through, but, you know, it was just, there was this warmth.
So I've got really intense memories of when I was 16. I could get you to smile now and again. That was always a bit of a victory.
I had children and I kind of did that heterosexual life and the military life and the army wife life. But actually, in the back of my head, I knew that wasn't who I was. The fear of God is put into you when you join the military back in the 80s, that if you are found out to be gay, then you're out. Even though I've met all these people from the LGSM who are living their lives, I just didn't have that courage and that conviction to be that person. So for me, that legacy is like, I had to wait until I was ready. I never stopped telling the story about the LGSM and the miners' strike. Nobody believed me. That story never ever left me. It was like that hook that I just kept hold of. And I thought, you know what? No, that is part of me. That is part of my life. And that is what I want to carry through. And then obviously when the film came out, I just messaged everybody and went, there you go. See? I was telling the truth the whole time and everyone was like, wow.
We all thought that the story would die with us. So it was extraordinary that 30 years after this film, Pride, and that the story has become global. For me, one of the most important points of the legacy is the fact that it was because of the trades unions that we have civil partnerships.
Through what happened then, through the NUM and the other trade unions and government policy. And I had the honour of serving in Westminster when we voted on that important policy. You know, it's not an accident that the word hoyw didn't appear in y Geiriadur Mawr, the big Welsh dictionary, until 1985. We were challenging people. We were saying that's not true. Our little corner of South Wales, our valleys, the Neath Dillais and the Upper Swansea Valley, we played a big role in changing public perception and public opinion.
Some of the stars of the film Pride there reflecting on that anniversary, and it is a really beautiful film if you get a chance to watch it.